There, test, 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 just like I did yesterday. All right, so what I'm doing now, guys, just bonding. Sorry I'm not looking your way. Kind of got to sit here between the dogs. Just still working on getting Bruce. Can you see his face? Just working with Bruce to keep continuing on and getting his comfort level, being close to Justice. And also just bonding with dogs, right? A lot of dog training, to get that companionship that everybody's looking for, it's a lot of time spent just doing this. Leave it, Bruce. Leave it, Justice. There's nothing out there. Leave it. I know there's a Big Mac truck out there, but you can't see it. Chill. Don't ruin this moment, boys. Don't ruin this beautiful moment. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Starting to slowly introduce Justice to the leave it command, by the way, guys, who's curled up on my lap or next to me like a little nugget. But to get that companionship, it's literally just a lot of time spent with your dog. It's not constantly drilling them around doing obedience work. Like, this is a huge chunk of building that relationship that a lot of people are looking for. What are you doing, crackhead? Huh? What are you doing, crackhead? You know, that the touch, the bond, and with how relaxed I am right now, Justice is relaxed. You know, Bruce Wayne isn't minding this at all. He doesn't mind Justice close to him like this. But I was talking yesterday in the video that got lost about training Justice and how it's almost like a book. A book has chapters. Chapter 1 of my book in this family relationship, if you want to call it, was getting Justice and Bruce Wayne acclimated to each other and getting Bruce Wayne to accept Justice as part of the pack. That was chapter 1, along with house manners, because you can't really wait on house manners with your puppy. It needs to be the moment they get home. You need to start training them how you want your life to be with them. That means if you don't want them on the couch, you can't let them on the couch if they're trying to get on the couch. If you don't want them to chew the edge of the couch, you can't be letting them chew the edge of the couch even for a moment. So chapter 1 consisted of the relationship between the two, growing that bond, letting Bruce Wayne know that he's not left out, he's not being replaced, and then teaching Justice house manners, which was just basically constant monitoring him, correcting him if he did something he shouldn't do instantly, and praising him if he was doing something that I appreciated. Like if he just laid down and chilled, I'd praise him. Chapter 1 complete. Chapter 1 a success, if you guys can see. You just saw the real world, you know, moment where Bruce grabbed the ball and started playing with Justice, and that's like a daily thing. Bruce is always instigating play with Justice, and I love it. And vice versa. Justice starts to instigate play with Bruce, and Bruce will accept. And it's funny because Justice starts doing the same thing as Bruce. Bruce will take a toy and show it to me and Kara and kind of just do this and start backing up. Justice is at the Bruce now. So that's chapter 1. So try to think, if you're not really sure how to train your dog, break it up into chapters. Don't throw everything into your puppy. You know, I truly believe in chapter 1 it should be house manners. House manners, house manners, house manners. Beyond sitting, beyond staying, beyond healing. House manners includes potty training, by the way. So chapter 2 with Justice was working on his leash work. You know, a lot of times it's really hard, as I was showing in the video yesterday. I was kind of giving you like real world examples of the difficulty it is to not only film with one dog. It's already hard to film with a dog that's 155 pounds, but then a puppy on top of it. So I have a puppy, Wayne, and my camera gear. It's a lot to manage. So there's no timeline on dog training. Remember that. Some dogs are going to pick up things faster than others. Justice is picking up things way faster than Bruce, but guess what? He has Bruce to model himself after. He sees me direct Bruce, and then he understands what's happening. That's why Justice's training has been so accelerated, I feel. So leash work, such as heel, was very important for chapter 2. I showed a video of working with Justice with a prong collar. I did that for a few days, and it is crazy how well he understands now just on a harness. How to heel now. He understands where I want him to be. He understands where I'm moving. I'm so happy with how quick his heel was. We walked, I don't know, maybe a mile yesterday. I don't really want to walk him too far, maybe a little bit more. I don't really know. Leave it, Bruce. Leave it, Justice. Good boys. The entire time Justice was on the heel, I had Bruce Wayne on leash sometimes. If there's people around, there wasn't a whole lot of people around where we were, so I take him off leash and put him on a heel just because it's easier for me. And Justice was just incredible with his heel to me. Now, a few times he would start to scooch himself over closer to Bruce to heel, and that's one of the things I do not want. I don't want him to take direction from Bruce. He needs to take direction from me, take direction from Kara, which is why I've explained multiple times why when we socialize Justice in public, sometimes Bruce Wayne is with us and sometimes he's not. And I'm gonna keep continuing that pattern just because I don't want Justice to become reliant on Bruce. I don't want Justice to, I want him to model himself after Bruce, but I don't want him to take absolute direction from Bruce. He can take direction from Bruce, but not above my direction or Kara's direction. I hope I'm making sense. So that's chapter 2. And I don't know how long chapter 2 is gonna be, you know? I am not rushing it. I wanna make sure that his heel is very good. I wanna make sure he's patient. Patience was also part of chapter 2 because our lifestyle is very different. Kara and myself have a very weird life, guys. You know, I retired last March. I gave my month notice, so I was actually done in April. So it's almost been a year since I've been retired. Kara still works as the business officer in a hospital. But then we have all these side businesses. You know, she's an athlete for Buff Buddy Collection, which I'm a huge part of. All the production work, all the editing, all the filming, and we have to go like pro level on this stuff. All the photography. She has client work, which I help market her to get clients because she's a dietitian, so she takes online clients. We have her YouTube, which I run, my YouTube, which I run, and when I say hers and mine, they're both our channels. It's a team effort. I'm just behind the scenes on hers. She's behind the scenes on this. She films. Sometimes she's on camera. I want her on camera more. She's just not here all the time. I know you guys love Kara. And then what else do we have going on? We have like the Fenrir stuff. Affiliate deals, sponsored videos. So we have a very different life. And it didn't come overnight. We worked very hard to create this life for ourselves. I was the creative director of a sports nutrition company, a graphic designer so I was like a graphic designer for like a decade. I've been doing video work since I was 16. And all the grind, all the hard work finally paid off where we can start building other side businesses, right? So part of just our life is we have our dogs with us a lot. I am getting to a point with this story, guys. And one of those places we go to is the gym. The gym's a chaotic place. You don't want your dog running around. It's not a doggy daycare. They invited Bruce Wayne to come into the gym. They asked me to bring him in the gym like 2-ish years ago when they opened up. And then they switched management and he loves Bruce and he's happy when he sees Bruce. So I'm very blessed to be able to bring my dogs in there. But on the same note, I take it very serious. It's not like a playpen for them. I put them on command. I expect them to stay on command. You know, I don't want my dogs smelling somebody's butt as they're doing squats and then hurt someone because somebody has like 300 pounds on their back. That's not what I'm all about. I'm about your dogs respecting you. And this is the behavior I expect in public. So part of chapter 2 was working on Justice's patience. Patience is key. People see Bruce in the gym and they're like, oh my God, he's so calm. I'm like, he's acting calm, but he is just wound up level 10 ready to go because he hasn't played yet. And the same for the puppy. So up until last week, I had a 45-pound plate that I would wrap around, tie the Justice's leash to, which was attached to his harness, so he couldn't run off anywhere. I started working, I took the weight away, and I started working just one day on patience with him. Every time he'd stand up, lay down. He'd stand up and start to move, lay down. He'd start to stand up and move, lay down. And I just kept repeating this pattern like the entire session at the gym. Halfway through, he was like, okay, I need to just stay here. And this is before I introduced stay to him. You know, I wasn't using the stay command, but I was wanting him to stay. Hope that makes sense. And then when he was staying, I'd be like, Justice, good stay, good stay. And then that's how I started introducing the stay command to him. I would then put him on a little bit of a heel, tell him to sit down, and then I'd tell him to stay, and I'd just walk a circle around him. I wouldn't like walk far away because the puppy's gonna wanna be by me and follow. I'd just walk a circle around him, and I'd be like, good stay, Justice, good stay. Then I'd say, okay, and take him off command. And within a day, he started to understand the concept of stay. And we've probably been, since that first session of working on Justice's patience, I haven't put a weight on him at the gym at all, and he stays there. And again, that was accelerated because he's been going to the gym with us for 5 weeks now, maybe, since June 10th. We got him June 9th, June 10th he's at the gym. What's he see? He sees his big brother, the person he's trying to model himself after, just staying there, not moving the entire time until we switch, you know, go to a squat rack or go to a machine. That's the only time he sees Bruce move. So that helped accelerate his stay ability and his patience ability. And also, I was never breaking my patience to give in to his impatience. He'd whine, he'd cry, here's a puppy, wouldn't even give him the time of day. Bruce wouldn't give him the time of day. So we've been doing things how I feel correct for these two dogs. Your dogs may be different. No dogs are the same. No dogs are gonna have the same timeline for what they're getting for obedience. And also, I've been also working on Justice's recall, which is also very important to me. So that's part of chapter 2. Chapter 2 may be a long chapter because there's a lot involved in chapter 2. A lot with patience and a lot with leash work. Some golden tea, if you're wondering what I'm drinking here. It's really tasty. Golden Ratio is the brand. And seeing Bruce jump over the couch just now and then not limp, kind of gives me hope he's on the up and up sooner than later. Right, buddy? You on the up and up sooner than later? So a lot of my video is centered around the talk I just did just now, kind of explaining how I'm training Justice and just in my own head, breaking it down into chapters. I know it can be very overwhelming training a puppy. You want everything to happen at once, right? And guess what? I fully expect Justice to lose all his training abilities when he hits adolescence. And by lose it, I don't mean not know what to do, but just really fight me in doing what I asked him to. Because it happened with Bruce, you know, the adolescent stage, I always say, I don't know what's worse. That initial puppy stage, like when, you know, we first got Justice, because it's just so overwhelming because you always have to have eyes on the puppy 24/7, or not 24/7, but you know what I mean. If your dog isn't crated and it's like 8 weeks old, you can't just walk in the other room and expect him not to chew up something or get into something that can harm him. We're past that point. But yeah, I don't know what's worse, that or adolescent stage. Adolescent stage can get kind of frustrating. That's where you really got to keep yourself in check because you've put in all the work, right? Your dog's so obedient, and then all of a sudden your dog's not obedient, so you start to get ticked off. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you know how to do this and you're not listening to me. It's hormones, guys. I fully expect it to happen. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna keep continuing to try to do these daily uploads. Like I said though, if the views start plummeting, I gotta start taking days off so I don't cannibalize my own video and then it gets buried and then YouTube stops pushing out my videos to the world, because the more comments they get, so the more engagement, essentially, you guys sharing them with your friends. Google knows if you text my video to a friend. Google knows if you share it to your Facebook. Google knows if you share it to your Instagram. And Google knows if you make comments and if you like the video. All that engagement helps push out my videos to the world. So the less and less engagement, the more and more Google stops pushing out your stuff. And I hate having to play that game. I just want to be able to do daily videos of my life with my family, you know, my dogs, how Kara and I are raising the dogs. But I also have to be mindful of there is an aspect here that I hate. I hate playing this game, but I have to. And it's called the Google algorithm, and I can't control it. You guys can control it more than I can by making comments, you know, communicating back and forth in the comments. You know, there's some videos where, and I'm not saying argue back and forth. I hate that. Do not argue back in the comments. Respect everyone's opinion. If someone has a different opinion on how to train their dogs, that's completely fine, you know, as long as you're voicing your opinion in a respectable manner. If it's disrespectful, I'm either going to come straight back at you or I'm going to just block you. But some of these videos have great back and forth where the community members are helping each other out, and I love to see that. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this channel, is just so the average person like myself that's not a dog trainer can have this type of relationship with their dog that I have with Bruce. And I say Bruce and not Justice because it doesn't happen overnight. I'm not there with Justice yet. Justice ain't on Bruce's level with me. That takes a very long time to build. And the reason it takes a long time to build is because it's just time spent with your dog. The more time you spend with your dog, the closer they become with you, the more that communication builds where you understand what they're telling you and they understand what you're telling them. I can speak sentences to Bruce. I don't even have to command him around. He knows what I'm saying now. So I hope you guys just kind of enjoyed getting inside my brain a little bit, how I train Bruce, how I'm training Justice. And I really hope that you can at least take something from it to help you guys out in your training, to keep you guys from getting not as frustrated when you're training your dogs. Everything I'm associated with, guys, is linked in the description box. This Believe shirt, Cane Corso Believe shirt, it's linked in the description box. A ton of other Cane Corso and Bruce Wayne merch. We have my ebook down there as well. We have all the Fenrir courses, which are just absolutely amazing. They're all online video courses. Once you buy them, you have them for life, guys. You can refer back to them at any time. There's a puppy training course. There's a canine boot camp, which is like an obedience course. There is a heel course, a crate training course, an anxiety course, a socializing course. There's something for everyone. They're good for any dog, any breed, any age. Obviously, you're not going to use the puppy course on an adult dog. I know you guys aren't dumb, but I know somebody's out there is going to say, well, you can't use blah, blah, blah. So I'm just putting that out there. And if you use the links in the description for the Fenrir courses and the Fenrir gear, there's also a link that says harnesses and gear, including the gear includes the hammered, guys. Use those links, and then on checkout, if you use the link with code Jason, you do save 10%. Everyone loves the hammer. It's not indestructible. There's no indestructible toy, but it's the closest thing to an indestructible toy that I've ever had with my dogs. So hope you enjoyed this little mellow, sit down, real life, real world video, unedited. Sorry about screwing things up yesterday. I was so bummed out. Ask Kara, I was just literally so upset because it was Bruce Wayne's birthday and I wanted to bring you guys along. But things happened, so I just put it behind me, moved on, and we're here now. All right, guys, thanks for everything. Talk to you guys later. Make sure you do all the things on the way out. Subscribe, smash the like button, ring the ding-a-ling, leave some comments. Until next time, Bruce Wayne, Joey Justice, and myself will see you later. Peace!